Hey guys, LevelCap here. Today is Monday, which means it's time for an episode of Loadout, the series where you guys, the viewers, get to pick my gun and customization in Battlefield 4 or Battlefield Hardline. To do this, you simply leave a comment down below letting me know what kind of weapon and accessories you'd like me to run with, and I will pick one of the top rated comments for the next episode. Today's top comment comes from Sam Baker BF4. He says, the British SAS team Loadout. MP5, iron sights, extended magazines, flash hider, stubby grip, taser as a sidearm, the M320 grenade launcher, a gas mask, tear gas grenades, and the baton. Not quite the classic British Bobby, but your MP5 is deadly up close, but remember to fill the room with gas as it will double your damage output. Taser for those non-lethal takedowns, and the M320 for busting down doors. Enjoy. Now, I personally love the MP5 as a weapons platform. It's been around forever. H&K designed it. It's a 9mm SMG. It's been in like every single video game ever, and it's just badass. It shoots fast. It looks like and feels like that close quarter tactical weapon that you would expect it to be. Now, this is the MP5K, the shortened version of the standard MP5 that you're probably used to from other video games like Counter-Strike or something like that. It's the gun that bodyguards of an evil henchman will be carrying because they can just carry it under their suit that they're wearing because it's so small and compact, but it deals massive damage in CQB, especially in this game because it's got a nice high rate of fire and it does a lot of damage per shot. And it's also the starting weapon for this class, so you can use it for both cops and criminals, so you can rank it up, get whatever attachments and cool optics you want for it, not have to worry about switching to a different gun when you go play as the other team. And you can always come back to this gun, even if you unlock the K10, the MPX, any other good PDW, this is still going to be a solid choice. Now listen to these damage numbers. The gun does 34 damage per shot, meaning you can close quarter kill somebody with a 3-shot kill. That's 8 meters or closer. It does drop off very quickly though, and the drop off ends at 20 meters away, and at that point the gun's only doing 12 damage. So it is very, very limited range wise, which is why you're going to want to run around and get as close as you possibly can. Unfortunately, with the loadout I'm using here, I have the taser, which is another close quarter weapon. In fact, you can't even tase anybody beyond a certain distance. So I really don't have any long range options with this kit. I would much rather run with one of the Mechanic's awesome revolvers that can just decimate people at longer ranges as a good alternative, but that being said, the gun has just got a lot of close quarter options, so as long as you can get to that engagement distance, then you're going to be just fine. The gun also shoots at 850 rounds per minute, so a 3-shot kill with that kind of rate of fire, this thing just cuts through people like a hot knife through butter. And you'll notice I'm not having any trouble hip firing people even without the laser sight with this weapon. So it's got good hipfire accuracy. I don't need to equip a laser sight and give away my position, especially when I'm trying to get in closer quarters. So it's a great gun to run with. You are going to want the extended mags with this weapon because it just doesn't have enough ammo. The extended mags will allow you to basically have 25 rounds in a magazine, 26 with one in the chamber. And that'll give you a little bit better damage potential. It would have been nice if the extended mags up this to 30 rounds in a magazine, because that would have, one, been more realistic, and two, made this gun a little bit more competitive with some of the better options that you get later in the game. Now here we are on Dust Bowl after the dust storm has actually passed. This is something that you don't see that often on the map. The dust storm usually doesn't roll into like the very end of the round, and then you only experience this kind of dusty looking map for a little bit, but I actually got to play on it for quite a while. It does make the map look less attractive, kind of the same effect you get when playing Siege of Shanghai after the skyscraper comes down. Everything kind of turns into a white box map, but it is still kind of interesting to see. Unfortunately, when the dust storm's actually going on this map, you think it would make it a lot better for close quarter combat, but it essentially just makes it really hard to find anybody. And then if you happen to get spotted, you're pretty much a dead man walking because you can't see anything except everybody can see your red little triangle just fine. So I'm not crazy about the dust storm on the map, but at least it doesn't last too long. Now the gas grenade gas mask combo is one of my favorites in this game. It doesn't give you that instant kill ability necessarily. You can kill people with the gas grenade, it's just very hard to do, but it does allow you to throw grenades at your feet, especially when inside of a building. This can be a really useful defense tactic. If you know somebody's rushing you, they rush into the gas grenade, obstructing their vision and making them take double damage, which allows you to two-shot anybody with this gun very quickly, and if they have any damage done to them, you're going to kill them so insanely fast, it's just crazy. It's also great for building clearing or locating enemies. You throw a gas grenade into a building building and it gives you hit markers, you know there's somebody in there. It's harder to see than the incendiary grenades, so people are likely to run into them. So if you throw them at an entry point to a building and you don't necessarily get hit markers right off the bat, but you do later, it tells you that somebody is actually moving into that building or moving out of that building. Granted, this can be a great way to thwart novice players, but if there's veterans moving around and they're using gas masks, it can be a great way to trick somebody out. Especially if you see a gas grenade come into a building, you can hide right next to it with your gas mask on. Somebody will run in thinking that nobody's there and you can just waste them. So that is the thing you have to watch out for, but if you're expecting it or you're always on your toes thinking that veteran players might be around, hopefully you can deal with them because, again, you have a very, very lethal CQB weapon. The iron sights on this gun are surprisingly good. I had no problem tracking targets with it. Obviously a red dot would be somewhat better, but if I had to run without a red dot sight, this would certainly be one of the guns that I would pick to do it with, especially considering that it's still a great gun for hip firing. So if you don't want to use the iron sights, you don't have to. Now, I managed to use the M320 a little bit when playing vehicle oriented game modes for just destroying them, blowing them up, and that was fun for sure, but I gotta say, sacrificing the body armor on the mechanic class is definitely one of the biggest things that takes away from your effectiveness in an infantry game mode. I mean, it's just so freaking good at this point. It's one of those things that I really want Visceral to nerf, because having a 50% damage reduction to chest shots is just unreal, and it makes you incredibly effective as a mechanic in CQB. So giving that up for this loadout was a little bit tough, and I have a feeling that the SAS would probably be running with armored inserts, so just for realism's sake, it would probably be a little bit more accurate loadout. Anyway, that pretty much wraps it up for today's episode of Loadout. Love the MP5K. It is overshadowed by a few of the other PDWs out there, but you should never underestimate this gun in CQB. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is LevelCap, signing off.